Prospect Shopping Centre occupies the site of the old Hull Royal Infirmary. Prior to that, it was known as Whiting's Field, an area for public execution. The infirmary, built in 1784, served for 183 years and was home to many botched surgeries and agonising deaths. It comes as no surprise, the place is haunted. Lifts move after hours, bins get thrown around, cold spots, apports, children's voices, and actual apparitions are daily occurrences. Nurses, doctors, distressed patients, and phantom footprints have all been witnessed. Everyone who visits leaves with questions, and more often than not, chills. A stone's throw away from Holy Trinity Church in Hull came the mystery of the disappearing wristwatches. Occupiers moved into the property despite the reputation of it being haunted. They thought nothing more of it until a watch disappeared. Having left it on the bedside table and finding it gone, a search was made. It was not found, so a second watch took its place. That too disappeared. The owner bought a third watch. It too disappeared. 8 times this occurred until the 9th morning, when the first watch reappeared. Days passed until all were returned, and then the cycle began again, and so it continues to this day, always in cycles of 8. The owner just says, if all they want is to play with watches, then far be it from me to stop them. Some ghost stories are moving, some very sad, and some leave you feeling rather disturbed. This is one of them. A house in Hull's Victoria Avenue has a bedroom that no one except George would sleep in. George was a fighter pilot during the war, so it explains his bravery. In this room, every night, something slithers over the occupants of the bed. A cold, slimy, many-armed something. An invisible or black something, most definitely not human. Even George's wife hurries past that room. What about you? Would you be brave enough to stay the night? Welcome to Haunted Stories. One dark, wet November night, Andrew was driving along Hessel Road in Hull. Nearing a junction, Andrew saw a policeman appear at the side of the road out of the darkness. The policeman was dressed in a very old uniform, with a cape, and as Andrew described it, one of those great funny hats. Andrew slammed his brakes on, afraid he was going to hit him. As he skidded to a halt on the wet road, he jumped out and realised the car had passed straight through the policeman. Andrew frantically checked up and down the road and even underneath the car, but the policeman had completely disappeared. These are tales from Jenny Brough Lane. Barbara was driving home one night along the lane when she suddenly felt a cold hand on her shoulder. Knowing she was alone in the car, she was afraid, but simply said, "No, not now, I'm driving," and put her foot down. She arrived home shaken but safe. In 1987, a family living on the lane were woken at 3 a.m. to violent screams of a woman in distress. A resulting police search revealed nothing, but the shrieking continued in the air until morning. All of these happenings are attributed to Jenny Brough. Some say she was murdered, some say she drowned, some say she was hung, but no one really knows. We do know that her screams are still often heard, and drivers alone at night on that road still feel a cold hand on their shoulder. From the beautiful Hessel foreshore comes this strange story. Alec was walking the foreshore at around 6 a.m. when he caught up with an old man. They walked together for some time, discussing this and that, both being keen shooters and bird watchers. Suddenly, the old man disappeared so quickly that Alec's first thoughts were of quicksand or a bog. People don't just disappear like that. He started a search, but quickly realised the ground was firm and there wasn't another human in sight. Alec realised he had seen a ghost. The old man has never been seen again, either before or since, and Alec no longer walks that foreshore on his own. This experience is as told by Peggy. My sister and I slept in a back bedroom which opened into Mother and Father's room. I was around 10 years old. We had 2 staircases, one to our room and one to the landing and front rooms. My older sister, who came to bed later than I, would come up either staircase. As I lay awake waiting for her, I saw a light coming from the landing. It grew brighter as a candle would getting closer. We had no electricity then. I expected my sister, but instead came a child with fair hair and a laughing face. She flitted across the room into the cupboard. Of course, I screamed. Mother and my sister searched for her and found nothing. Mother said, "Never be afraid of ghosts. The dead can't hurt you. It's the living you need to watch." 2 days old, hot off the press. Around 2 a.m, Phil and his family were driving home from York. Entering Market Wheaton on a gentle curve, they were startled to see a motorcyclist laid in the road. But if this was a crash, where was the bike? Filled with concern, they stopped with a view to helping, but couldn't shake the uneasy feeling in the air. In the distance, they suddenly heard the roar of a car approaching fast and loud, headlights on full beam. This heightened their worry, so Phil went to grab a torch to warn the oncoming vehicle of their presence. Though they turned from the body for only a few seconds, when they turned back it had disappeared. Fearing attack, they hurried back to their car. The loud car never appeared, nor did the body. Phil and his wife remained pale and shaken as they told me this tale. Headless white ladies apparently wander far and wide in Yorkshire. In September 1987, 4 WI members had been at a musical evening in Brough. Just after 10 p.m, the ladies began their drive home. As they entered the Dales, their car headlights picked up a very tall figure dressed in white, holding a stick. As their car passed, the apparition stepped into the road and began a terrible, piercing scream. The ladies hurried home and contacted the police, afraid of foul play. At their next meeting, it was revealed that all the other members who had driven that same road saw the same being. The police search revealed nothing, but all the women noticed this phantom had no face and screamed in the dark.